I'm David Gafford with the Barbecue Lab, bringing you the best outdoor cooking gear and techniques to help you win your weekend. You've probably seen an Oklahoma Joe offset smoker in many of the big box stores across the United States. But did you know that they launched their first pellet grill this past year? In this video, I get a chance to talk with Dan from Oklahoma Joe about their new Anthem series, which is a part of their dealer lineup, including the Rider DLX Pellet Grill coming up. All right, I'm here with Dan from Oklahoma Joe, and then Dan, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing right here, this pellet grill.
Cool, yeah. So this morning at the show here, we're introducing our dealer lineup for Oklahoma Joe's, and this is going to be our Rider DLX Pellet Grill within that line, and it's going to have over the retail version of the unit full stainless steel wraparound shelves, stainless steel accents on the caps, and of course your stainless steel lid around the hopper. Give it a little bit of bling and some extra luxury feel to the Rider DLX. With our first take on the pellet grill, we wanted to really look at the industry out there and other manufacturers and really touch on and improve the experience and work in some of those benefits that we didn't see other manufacturers touching. So kind of starting just in the front here, our control panel. So we wanted to make the control panel a little bit easier to use. This is something that on a typical or other products that you see out there, not too much thought is kind of put into that section. It seems, it's kind of a small panel with a singular knob. So we really wanted to blow that out and make a very easily understandable, intuitive control panel. So you have your big knob here where you can set all your temperatures, and then your LCD screen where all of those actual temperature readings from in the internal probe are coming through and reading out on this LCD screen. The other thing you're getting is two guidance features on here. So there's a lot of room in this smoker. It's 1,234 square inches of space, so a lot of space to really work with, and we wanted to include some features that would allow you to keep track of everything that you're cooking in there. So timer function allows you to set a countdown timer that will go to 0 and alert you when that's done. Meat probe function, you can monitor internal temperatures of meat, and then you can also set a target temperature for that meat, and it'll alert you when it's done. So that's all happening here in the control panel. 2 ports for your meat probes, so you can track up to 2 pieces of meat at once.
So I noticed right above the control panel, you've got the hopper. Tell us a little bit about how we're going to be putting pellets in the unit, how much it holds. Give me some info on the hopper.
Sure. So again, we have kind of a unique design for our hopper. We went with a flatter and wider format for this, so you get a nice work surface when you're not working with the pellets. When you are working with the pellets, our hopper will hold up to 20 pounds. And the other unique feature that we've built into this is a pellet drainage system. So this works with it's an included plastic pellet storage bucket with a lid, and you actually will pour this in. This actually holds your pellets. Pour your pellets in, the bucket actually integrates with the bracket underneath, and then we have a spring-loaded hatch handle that opens up the drain. The entire pellet contents will drain out in a few seconds. So that really improves the experience of emptying pellets after use or swapping out flavors if you're cooking different foods and flavors with other pellets.
So say that we're smoking something around 250. What kind of a time should I expect to be able to get out of a full load of pellets if we're smoking around 200, 250, somewhere around that range?
So the full hopper, 20 pounds, you probably get about 10 or so hours at about a 250 degree temperature.
Cool. And you were talking about how many square inches of cooking space we have. Tell me about on the inside, how are you achieving that?
Yeah, so the way we're achieving that, we actually kind of elongated the body of the pellet grill. So we added about 5 inches to this grill from our base models to give you this additional layer of cooking space. So you have 2 upper cooking racks that run the full length of the grill, and you also have about 12 inches of depth there. On the bottom, you're going to get about 578 square inches of total cooking space on the bottom, and all that's going to add up to 1,234 square inches of cooking space. So a ton of space and a ton of vertical space there to work with as well.
Now, something that is a little non-traditional, I haven't seen this on a lot of pellet grills, is the circular area here on the bottom level. Tell us about what you're able to achieve using this area.
Sure, yeah. So that was one of the pain points that we wanted to touch on that we weren't seeing a lot of other manufacturers hit, and that's the ability to sear with a pellet grill. So our engineers set out to design a system that would allow you to get both even smoking performance and then true live fire like searing performance. So the first element on top, what you'll see is our porcelain coated cast iron grate. This is a 9mm thick grate, slightly heavy. Let's give that a hold. Yeah. So the other cool thing about this is it has our Oklahoma Joe logo in the pattern. So your sear is going to be, it's going to have that Oklahoma Joe logo on it. So that's a pretty cool feature.
Hey, if you're getting value from this video, do us a favor and hit that like button. All right, back to the content.
So taking a look at the baffle, you can see that we have kind of a unique design here. Typically you'd see in a pellet grill kind of this flat sheet of steel all the way across. We've kind of went with this unique cylindrical style baffle that has dual layer, so the top layer will come off just to show you what's going on the inside. The first layer of the baffle is going to have this sort of daisy wheel design that in smoke mode is going to basically create 2 layers of steel between the fire and your food, and that's going to evenly distribute heat throughout the entire chamber. That also works in conjunction with our dual exhaust system to really help distribute temperatures across the entire grill. When you want to go into searing, you basically just flip your lever on the front of the grill, and it's going to open up that daisy wheel and basically open up a path for that direct heat to your food. The other thing that's happening here is that the holes on the baffle are closing up, and that's going to isolate your heat to that central cast iron grate that you see in the center there. So using that central grate, that kind of denotes your searing area, and across that entire space you're going to get no more than 5 degrees of variation from left to right depending on what you have set. The other cool benefit of this is that you end up with a dual zone system, so you have whatever temperatures you're setting and searing in the center, and then you have 2 areas off to the side that are going to be generally about 100 to 150 degrees cooler than that central area, and it allows a little bit more versatility when you're grilling in this format.
Cool. Okay, so you were telling me about this flex system that this grill uses. Give us a little more info on that.
Sure. So we also wanted to build in a level of modularity because our typical Oklahoma Joe consumers like to customize their products, and kind of we like them to grow with the consumer as they become more familiar with it and want to try new techniques for it. So the other purpose of this central circular grate, it pops out, and then you can swap in a couple of accessories that have. So this is our carbon steel griddle. We also have a carbon steel deep dish. So that pops right into the spot where your central grate would go, locks in nicely, and then you can use that searing function to evenly heat that grate and use it for your breakfast foods. You can do pizzas in this. The deep dish is a great spot for. You can also do deep dish pizzas. You can do gumbo, jambalaya, things like that. The other piece of our flex system is the racks. So across the back of the grill, you'll see 4 vertical support brackets that are what holds up our upper cooking grates. So they all involve this modular attachment system that integrates with a suite of accessory racks. So this is our multi-purpose rack. Fits right into that same connection system. And allows you more versatility of that vertical space. So there's 3 different variations of that. We have the multi-purpose, we have a rib rack, and we have a drumstick and popper holder. So this allows you to get a little bit more versatile use. And the example I like to use is if you're doing turkey or beer can chicken on one side of the grill, these long racks might interfere with that. You use these racks, the smaller racks on the other side, and you still get that vertical space and that capacity, even when you're doing things that are going to, kind of infringe on that vertical space.
I noticed there's 2 exhausts on the top. So talk me through why 2 and what's the advantage?
Yeah. So when you're in that smoke mode, the dual exhaust system is going to encourage a lot of that hot air to come around the left and right, as well as you're getting that direct heat that's coming from the center plate. So the result is going to be a much more even cooking system. Where you see some of the other products that have a exhaust on one side, that's kind of encouraging airflow to kind of go in a certain direction, and it's going to give you some hot spots. The dual exhaust helps to mitigate that and give you a little bit more even heat across the entire cooking area. and it also helps it even out that heat across the vertical space as well.
And with all pellet smokers and with all smokers in general, we've got to have a way to drain the grease and actually get the waste out.
Yeah.
How does this handle that?
Yeah, so that's actually was a big pain point that we wanted to touch as well. So if you take a look underneath the grill, you're going to see a dual grease bucket system. So that's going to evacuate the grease to the left and right of that circular baffle. Everything, for the most part, that's falling on that circular baffle is going to vaporize off. We also recommend a high heat burn if you're doing a lot of low heat cooking, and that'll clean off that central baffle as well. So yeah, the dual bucket system will really does a good job of clearing out all of the grease that pools down there. It's also really good if you're not on a completely level surface, so you're not getting it pooling up one way or another. Also, we have in the center a ash cup system that ties directly into the fire pot. So the bottom of our fire pot is perforated. Ashes will fall through straight to this cup. Basically unscrew it. This will fill after a couple cooks, you dump it, and you're ready to go again. So that makes ash evacuation very simple. You don't have to get in there with a vacuum or anything like that.
All right, so for those who want to learn more about the Rider, where can they find out more information?
Yeah, so you can go to oklahomajoes.com for all the latest on the Rider line. And also make sure you follow our social accounts on Instagram, Facebook, and you'll find anything new coming out there as well.
Cool. All right, thanks, Dan. Appreciate it, man.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Question of the day. Are you currently using a pellet grill in your outdoor arsenal? What's your favorite meat to cook with wood-fired pellets? Let us know in the comments section below, as well as your thoughts on this new pellet grill offering from Oklahoma Joe's. And if you want to check out some of our other coverage from the Barbecue Expo, we've got a whole playlist out. We'll link it up in the YouTube card as well as in the description below, and I'll see you next time right here on the Barbecue Lab.